Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. You just heard from Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert. If you were watching on our Alert Center just earlier today about the streetcar, an update on the streetcar project. We will have more on that story online on our website, wwt.com, and on our broadcasts later today. In the meantime, just want to let you know we are chatting with Josh Planos with the BBB, so I'll quickly head over to Josh just to talk a little bit about how to avoid becoming a statistic. Specifically today, we're chatting about, let me unmute you, there we go, Josh. We're talking about how to spot those fake subscription renewal notices, which recently duped a Kansas City area person, right, out of $300. So that seems like quite a hefty amount, Josh.
It is, and what's particularly concerning, Jacqueline, is that this consumer reported receiving a scam email about their Sirius XM subscription a day before their actual renewal. So the
Oh,
scammer
wow.
actually had information on their billing cycle, right? So it's not enough that this is a fake subscription renewal notice. It's that this is actually informed by data. The scam email did ask for credit card information, but it is something to be monitoring. I would say that the vast majority of us have many, many more subscriptions now than we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And there's a lot of not just entertainment products, but really, budget, everything from budgeting to entertainment to cybersecurity seems to run on subscription models. So you want to make sure that you actually know what it is that you've signed up for before you agree to renew something that might not exist.
Yeah, good call. And along those lines, I do know that they have apps that are available for download. I'm not sure if they're free or not, that kind of track that for you, right? So they kind of give you red flags like, hey, this is when your Netflix subscription, for example, is really ending, and here's kind of what you want to look for, and that kind of thing. I mean, is that a good thing to kind of maybe sign up for? If again, assuming and doing your research and realizing, that that is a reliable source.
Yeah, doing your research and ensuring that it's a good use of funds, right? For some people, it's just as simple as writing it down on a piece of paper. As antiquated as that
Sure.
sounds, or putting it on, your refrigerator. But yeah, I mean, whatever your methodology, have a methodology, right? The alternative is just that you field all of these communications that indicate that money is suddenly due, and you
Right.
don't really know which of them to believe, right? So
Yeah.
one thing we would recommend is at the very least cross-referencing the communication you receive with your actual account before willingly clicking on a link. We've talked before about with phishing related scams. Even just clicking on a link can start a malware download. So it's not as simple as let me just click on this and I'll figure it out once I get there. It's like no, there are actually consequences to just clicking on things in
Yeah, which is
2024.
scary.
So you want to, yeah, exactly. I mean, really the threshold that needs to be met for something to infect your laptop, your device is so incredibly low that I would hope that folks would at least tread carefully with some of the communication they receive,
Sure.
verify it directly with the business, keep track of your subscriptions. We talk about thinking before you pay. Again, for many, it's the alternative is well, if I don't pay, 25.99, I might not have this service. Versus, do I, or is it due? Within the next 24 hours. All of these conversations you should have before you willingly provide bank account information or personal information to someone who might not represent that company.
Yeah, that's so scary. I mean, and as we discuss, when we talk about these various scams, I mean, people are getting smarter out there. The bad guys, so to speak, are getting smarter. So they know people are using their phones. They may play off of your vulnerabilities too, depending on, which algorithms you or they choose to follow. And so, you can always end up losing some personal data if you do just make that simple click.
Yeah, there are actual archetypes that are built out by these scam operations, right? Where they know certain socioeconomic data about you. They can put you, broadly speaking, into a bucket and then target the bucket with particular messaging. And with this consumer story in particular, this person actually was about to renew their Sirius XM subscriptions. They had data on this person, which made it incredibly convincing, right? When they
Right.
received that communication. But for many others, I mean, I would guess that if you just did a survey of people on the street. Maybe half of them know all of the subscriptions that they have signed up for at any given time. Just chipping away at that number would do a whole lot of good in terms of remedying this problem that is increasing, at least with the reports that we've monitored.
Yeah, and then I'm going to take a quick look at your website. Josh, thank you for sending me the links every Tuesday, give or take, to what we'll be discussing. But this is something that consumers, you at home, can easily access as well. This isn't just a special alert center email, so that's what makes this kind of exciting. So we were talking about earlier how to avoid imposter email phishing scams, and if you missed some of those are always easily accessible, bbb.org, and you can check out the different articles and whatnot. Another thing that I really like just about the BBB, I mean, you guys make it really, really easy for us. So like, here's the scam tracker. If you are scammed, report a scam. It's easy. They make it easy for you. You know, are you the victim? Was there somebody else? Is it your business? What exactly happened? And then you kind of go through the list here. You know, as we've discussed, I mean, sometimes people are a bit nervous to report those scams. You know, as I said earlier, kind of jokingly, you don't want to become another statistic, but I mean, you taking, you know, advantage of your own downfall, I guess you could say, and letting the public know, you know, what to avoid can really do a huge service to your community.
It really is an opportunity to be community minded. As devastating as being, you know, going through something like that is, something positive can come out of it if you allow it to.
Right.
There are a lot of reasons why people don't report, but one thing that I feel confident and strongly about is that your story does matter. And
Right.
even if you didn't lose $300 to a Sirius XM scam, even if you lost no amount of money, by bringing that information forward, you stand much more of a chance of getting that information in the hands of someone else who doesn't need to go through that experience, who can avoid it entirely, right?
Yeah.
So we encourage you to come forward. As Jacqueline noted, it takes 2.5 minutes to go through the scam tracker process. You can be kept completely anonymous. It's a really good way to provide a service to your community and to support those who frankly need it.
Yeah, definitely. And Josh, quickly, any last tips here that you'd like to discuss about these fake subscription renewal notices? Anything that, you know, might just be a red flag that people should know?
Yeah, the mode of payment in particular seems to really draw on non-traditional means with the reports that we've monitored. So, for instance, you receive a communication, they tell you, you know, you have to make good on this to renew your subscription, but we request peer-to-peer payment methods. So we take Venmo, we take Zelle, we take PayPal, or we take prepaid debit cards. Uh, those are great friend to friend. Those are really not used all that often consumer to business. There's a reason why non-traditional payment methods are requested by scammers. It's because they're really hard to trace. So
Sure.
make it as complicated as possible on the scammer. Use a credit card, use something with built-in fraud protection so you at least have that security blanket with your transaction.
Definitely. And just lastly here, I mean, I know that with certain credit cards at certain banks, you can actually, you know, pause your credit card. They've made it really easy for you to just kind of slide over a bar online and say, you know, I'm not going to be using this credit card for a while, so just pause it. That way, you know, you won't have any of those funny transactions regardless. So,
Absolutely. You want to have those protections, right? All we're talking about is stacking layers of protection so that the transaction can be as secure as possible. And in 2024, that is really paramount because there's an onslaught of variables that are working against consumers. So you want to at least know, you know, which to use as a shield for your
sure.
transactions.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Josh. Well, thank you so much for joining us at the Alert Center this afternoon. We appreciate you and all your advice.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you next week. All right, guys, we just heard from Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau, ways that you can not fall victim to fake subscription renewal notices. Like, I don't know, if you've got Netflix and Hulu, and I don't know, the list goes on and on and on. They do have it all clearly laid out for you on their website, bbb.org. Meantime, we're going to take a look outside before we go here. Here's a live look at my favorite camera, the Blackstone camera. You can see beautiful clouds in the sky. But as Senior Chief Meteorologist, Rusty Lord was chatting here at the Alert Center earlier today just about how those storms are likely to come in around 4 o'clock, 4 to 8, I believe is what he said, and could last well until midnight. So not good for this next shot. of the Charles Schwab Field, right? So you can see the little white dots are baseball players running around out there. Of course, we're still at the still celebrating the CWS. You know, all the bracket stuff confuses me. I don't know about you, but everyone's keeping a close eye on it, thankfully. And then lastly, before we go here, a look at Children's Nebraska. So again, you can kind of see the clouds in the sky developing, and if we take a look at Dodge Street over to the right, it looks like traffic is flowing smoothly, so that's at least some good news there. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me at the Alert Center. For all the latest information, you can always head to our website. That's WOWT.com. And yep, so you can always head there for more info, WWT.com. Right now we have our top story up, the mayor giving an update on the Omaha streetcar development, the costs, the revenue, et cetera, et cetera. If you were joining us at the Alert Center about maybe 30 minutes ago, you would have seen and heard from Mayor Stothert directly. But again, we'll be sure to bring you all that good stuff on our first broadcast, first at 3. But until then, thank you so much for joining me at the Alert Center, and have a wonderful day.